Hello, welcome to another Schtick Live. Oh my gosh, the first one of 2021. Holy shit, you guys, let's do this. Stacey's here, awesome. I'm so excited. So many good performers tonight. Give a round of applause for yourself and for coming out for some live comedy online. Can't do it in person yet, but we're getting there. Hopefully this year, knock on wood, we can be back in person. In the meantime, we're going to tell some jokes because all of these people have been coming up with great material this past year. So this is the showcase of that. I'm Seth Payne. This is my comedy baby, Schtick. Started in DC, man, what, 4 years ago, with Elizabeth Fulton. Still exists out there. It'll be back again in person at some point. Started to do it here at Shuba's in Chicago right before we got shut down, but those shows were magical, and we're going to bring it back again at some point. A lot of really fun news coming up this year already, which I'm excited about. But for tonight, we're going to do this live on Zoom. So the way this works is if you're here to see somebody or if you really like somebody's set, feel free to unmute yourself and give them laughs. So we're not just telling jokes into silence. So any of that feedback would be great. If you guys do start to make some random noise or get into a fight with like your cat or something, I might mute you. So if that happens, if you're randomly muted, that's why. Don't take it personally. Sweet. What else? I think that's pretty much everything. We've got a killer lineup. I wrote some new material. Why don't we do some of that? Sound good? So I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. If you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you've been watching me throw myself into folding tables the past few weeks. There we go. That's actually my my sister right there. We're into Bills Mafia. Hell yeah, Cassie. This season's been insane. So if you're not familiar with sports, which is fine, or Buffalo is cursed. We've made it to the Super Bowl 4 times in the 90s, lost every single time. We have hockey and football. And the hockey team made it to Stanley Cup, I believe, once and didn't win. So we have never won a championship. But we go into each season in insane denial, and we definitely party it up beforehand, mostly so we don't remember the game is the point of getting so hammered before and throwing ourselves into tables. But needless to say, the past few years have been really fun, and we made it really far. So I ended up, my dad surprised me, got some tickets. So I drove out to Kansas City for the game on Sunday, which was wild. It felt a little bit like real life again, kind of being out. Everybody's wearing masks and whatnot. We all got tested afterwards, so we're good. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird being away game, and we lost at the end. Spoiler alert. And there was this kid there. So I was like a child there. I was having a lot of fun. And I was wearing a cape, Bill's cape. I was pretty sauced up because, man, we're there, we're doing it. And I made a giant sign that said Bills are going to the Super Bowl, which is what I say every year. And this was the first year where it was like, we might actually go to the Super Bowl. So I made this huge sign. This child who's a Kansas City fan, he's like 6-7 years old. We were losing by like a lot at the end, and it was pretty sad. Most fans were leaving. If you've ever been at a away game when you lose, it's horrible. It's just like gut wrenching. Everybody's having fun around you. They're playing like celebratory music, and you just have to slink away. And so I'm standing there. We're just kind of like biting our tongues, like, this sucks. And the kid came up and he was like, "Hey, mister, can I have your sign?" And I'm pretty cool with kids, but I've never felt the urge to punch a child so strong. It was pretty tough. I was like, no. So I just was like, no. He asked me like 2 or 3 times because I don't think he was understanding. Like, I'm like, no, this is like, I'm in a lot of pain right now. And he even so I said no. He got his dad to come over and ask me, and he's like, "Come on, man, just give the kid the sign." And I'm like, most of the time I'm pretty mature in these situations, but I was like, no. I'm not giving you the sign. So I ignore him. He starts talking to my dad, and my dad's like, "Yeah, I don't know. He kind of needs to keep it," like kind of acting like I'm also 7, 8 years old in this situation. And I don't know, it just made me realize, like, it's like when you go to the park and you see the kids playing, and I'm like, I think about sometimes if I want to be a dad, I think that'd be cool. But when I go to the park and I see kids playing, you see like little girls, and they're like, they're like, oh, like they're like kind of like they're doing little cute things, like they're being like, I don't know, just being appropriate for the most part, not being really crazy. Like they're like, you want to see it. Like I want a daughter so I can just like be like, you're the shit. You're going to be the president someday. You got this. Like just empower the shit out of them. I don't want a kid like that, because that kid is a little shit who's going to be like, he's going to rub it in other kids' faces. He's like probably smacking a stick against a tree relentlessly. Just I don't know. I don't know if I could do the boy thing, man. It made me think about the 2 times I've ever been in a fight. I'm not a violent person at all. I choose to party and not fight. And the 2 times I've ever been in a fight was once I was in college, and I was at this dance place. It was like the college dance place, so it was just like all underage kids and dirt cheap beer. And again, feeling pretty good. This has got to be about like 1 in the morning. I'm feeling pretty good outside, and I see a guy that I had met like freshman year, and I didn't realize he was dating a girl that I had recently gotten into a prank war with, where like we basically were just messing with each other's sweets or whatever in college. And they had ripped up a Harry Potter standing figurine I had. I was pretty cool in college, guys. I don't want to brag or anything, but I had life-size cardboard cutout. And they had ripped the head off. This was escalating pretty intensely. So I had countered by opening up an entire jar of glitter in their room. Do not do this. The prank war goes to a whole nother level when you enter glitter into the equation. I guess they had a hamster in the room, and they freaked out and told the RA like the hamster may have eaten the glitter and like he's killing our pets. They weren't even supposed to have pets, so then they had to get rid of the hamster. Hamster, I think, was fine. So they countered that prank by putting my number up around campus on flyers that said "Call for a good time, is into spanking, is into BDSM," which, hey, maybe I am into. I haven't really messed around with it yet. But at the time, it was very embarrassing, and I got nonstop calls all day. So I countered by saying, hey, they put my number around campus. That's got to be something, like that can't be allowed here. Like that's kind of messed up. So that girl got put on probation, which she later broke and got kicked out of school. I didn't know the end of that. So she got her boyfriend to come and punch me in the face at 1 in the morning. And I didn't know it was going to happen. So I was standing outside, and he came up, and I was like, oh, what's up, Eric? And then he was just like real intense. He was like, motherfucker. And then like just started punching me in the face. And I just thought I didn't know what was happening. So I thought he was confused. And I just kept saying like, dude, you're good. It's me, Seth. And he was like, I know. And I was like, no, I don't think you do. And then the cops came and like broke it up. And I was like, he doesn't know who I am. And he's like, I'm going to kill you, Seth. And I was like, maybe he does. I don't understand what's happening. So that was the first fight I got in. Didn't do so well. Second one, I was in a club, and this huge fight broke out. And I was with my big bro dude, whose name is Moose. And her nickname is Moose. Not legal. And he went to break up the fight and get involved, just like whatever. And we were there with just like a group of girls hanging out. And he went to break up the fight, and some guy sucker punched him in the back of the head. So he went down, and they just started punching him. So I had like that like mom strength for like a hot second, where like I went over and like launched this dude. Like I've never launched anyone. I launched this guy across the club, and then instantly saw all of his buddies like come for me. So I launched him, felt cool, and then instantly just regressed into like child's pose on the ground. And I thought I was getting beat up by them. It was a huge fight. Come to find out later, they came for me, but then the girls in our party went for them. And then the girls in the other party all came for me. And it ended up just being a bunch of women hitting me with their purses and fists. So my fight record is not great. And I don't think punching the kid at the Kansas City Chiefs game would have added to it at all. So I'm glad I kind of stayed strong throughout that. You guys, I found out a dating secret before we go into the show here. I found out a dating secret for 2021. Did you know if you go onto a dating app, you tell people that you got vaccinated, you can sleep with those people. True. Totally true. There are some do's and don'ts here. There's some do's and don'ts though. Just take my advice. You want to show up with a copy of the vaccination. You know, it can just be you can copy it from someone, change the name. Want to do that. Do not show up with a used syringe. This does not go over well. You do want to possibly, if you're feeling a little like not so great about this plan, just say you're really into mask play and then just wear masks all the time. And then that kind of covers your bases. Do not kiss. Probably a bad idea, right? So just don't kiss. Do not use sanitizer as lube. You're going to want to do this. Don't do it. Bad idea.
Oh my God.
Did you guys write that down? These are the do's and don'ts of 2021 so far. All right, that's my set. Thank you guys for bearing with me. You now know a little bit more about my future. My past and my future. We've got some awesome comics here. I'm going to stop yabbing and get to our first performer. She is hilarious, awesome. I'm so glad to see her again. She usually does music. She's trying out something new on Schtick tonight. I'm very excited for it. And you guys are going to absolutely love her. So let's go crazy for Tatum Hunter.
Hey.
Woo!
Hey.
You there.
Thanks so much, y'all. I'm so excited to be on a show. And I'm not playing piano tonight. I'm reading you 25% of a story about my hometown. So I'm going to switch over, and then I need someone to make a noise telling me that I'm still here. Am I still here?
You're
Yeah.
still
Still
here.
here.
Woo!
So I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to complement it with this bell noise that I found that's called ship bell. I'm going to present you with two scenarios. Scenario one, after a decade of deep meditation and preparation, my mother was raptured by an alien. Or scenario two, after a decade of manipulation and mental decline, my mother, along with her sister and 39 other members of an alien doomsday cult, were murdered by a madman in the forest and their bodies were never found. Now, which scenario feels more reasonable? If I think about it too hard, it makes me want to retire from being human. It makes me want to scream in the shower and rip my clothes off at work and steal kids' bicycles. It makes me want to march into the forest and disappear forever. But if I think about it just slightly less hard, it's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Imagine that you were an extraterrestrial creature, and your technology is so advanced that our 3D brains can't even picture it. And you're lonely all by yourself out there. So you decide to build a new civilization. And you look down to Earth and you see the Dalai Lama and Phoebe Bridgers and Greta Thunberg in the cast of Love Island. And then you decide to rapture 40 brainwashed adults from South Lebanon, Ohio, whose liturgical readings include the lyrics to Life is a Highway. Even for space creatures, choices have consequences. So I like to imagine that somewhere 600 light years away, there's a powerful alien closing out his tab at a newly raised Bob Evans and wondering if it was all worth it after all. Uh-oh, can you hear my ship bell?
Yep, here we go.
Some days I wonder what would have happened if my uncle Edward had called me on one of my bad days. Actually, I know exactly what would have happened. I'd have ignored him, and then he would have called a second time, after which I'd send a text saying, sorry, I'm driving, what's up? But I wouldn't be driving. I'd be listening to Sorcerer's Stone audiobook and staring at a wall. So maybe if I hadn't picked up, all of this would have gone different. But he called me on one of my good days, so I answered, and he wanted me to come over, so I did. I got in the car and drove 15 minutes alongside the river to his place in one of those subdivisions where every house is covered in beige vinyl siding and every western wall is covered in black gummy mildew. Poor people live where you can see the river, but rich people live where you can smell the river. Eddie wasn't rich, but his new girlfriend Terry was living above her means, and lucky for him, spreading the non-wealth. A couple blocks from his house, I drove past Eddie standing on the sidewalk. He was wearing long sleeves and pants, even though it was 85 degrees outside. His face was bright red except for 2 white circles around his eyeballs where his sunglasses presumably were. "You can park in the driveway," he called while I rolled my window down. "I'm just walking to check the sidewalk. I'm walking to check the sidewalk. They're redoing the sidewalk and they're redoing everyone's driveway as well." "No, you're not," I told him. "What happened?" "Nothing," he said. "Terry locked the garage door, so I slept outside on a breaker box." "Hell yeah," I said. You'd think living alone for 20 years would make a person more independent, but not so with Eddie. Losing his wife was such a shock to his system that his time variable started running in reverse. 10 years ago, he'd call me for help with his iPhone, whereas now he calls me for help with those bricks you use to keep doors open. In another 10 years, he'll be a fetus. "Is it your phone?" I asked Eddie, hoping for a quick solution. He pulled at his sweaty shirt collar. "It's about Home Depot." No. A trip to Home Depot with Eddie was like a trip to Spencer's with God. Bad destination, bad company, and all the employees love him. Miranda called me and said she's seen something interesting. Miranda was Eddie's favorite Home Depot employee because once on his birthday, she got on the store intercom and insisted that the shoppers join her in singing "Happy Birthday." But Eddie wasn't talking about Miranda with his usual reverence. He was standing with his hands on his hips, sunburned face pointed directly at the sun, and eyes avoiding mine. She said she saw Bernadette in the outdoor living and patio section. I'm going to present you with 2 scenarios. Scenario 1. After a decade in a death cult, raptured by aliens, and 2 decades living abroad in deep space, my Aunt Bernadette appeared one day in the outdoor living and patio section. Scenario 2. After a decade in an alien death cult, my Aunt Bernadette was murdered by a madman in the forest and her body was never found. She then appeared 2 decades later in the outdoor living and patio section. Now, which scenario feels more comforting? All right, that's the end. That's the first 25% of this story. So if you'd like to hear the rest, I'll stick my Instagram handle in the chat, and you guys can keep up as I share it.
Oh yeah, keep it going for Tatum.
Great job, Tatum.
All right, I'm gonna move that. And there we go. Okay. And we got some hella good playing. All righty, guys. So much fun. So great seeing you again, Tatum. We've got so many more good, great, hilarious, fantastic comics coming up. And we spared no expense for this next comic. He's hysterical. He's my good buddy out here in Chicago. Please give it up for Matt Keller.
Hey.
Hello, hi. Can you all see me? Great. So thank you so much for having me. I want to say that most of my family is actually here tonight watching. So supporting and loving. Actually what I'm most excited about for post-quarantine life is for most of my family to not be coming to all my shows. They're so supportive and loving though. So thank you so much for coming. Okay, so something that has made me very, very angry recently is the idea that diners will put cereal as an option on their menu, and then they won't specify like how much or what type or why. So it just drives me up a wall, makes me absolutely furious. So speaking of masculinity, it has come to my attention that we are upon that time of the year where I start to question my own masculinity. I guess it always happens around kind of Super Bowl playoff seasons. I'm not sure, Seth kind of mentioned before, but recently he's been slamming his body into folding tables to celebrate a sports team called the Buffalo Bills that I didn't learn about until this year. So while he's over here slamming himself into tables, I'm over here watching the gals from Sex and the City slam hot dudes.
Yes.
I did recently start watching that program. I think I'm kind of a mix between a Miranda and a Charlotte, for those wondering. So anyways, the other day I was walking with my friend and her dog, and I couldn't help but wonder, anybody pick up on that? I was told this dog is apprehensive and skittish towards men. So why wasn't this dog neither apprehensive nor skittish towards me? Was it a vibe I gave off? Was it an energy? So that kind of made me feel a little insecure. But you know, the moments I feel most secure in my masculinity is when Satanya is ringing me up at the grocery store and she says, "How's it going, baby?" Because I know for a fact she does not call other women baby, because she doesn't. I've seen it, and I wouldn't be surprised if she refrained from speaking to women at all on her shift. I do live in Lake East, so another moment when I feel very secure in my masculinity is when Ina Garden tells me that the store-bought option is fine. Name a more manly quality than cutting corners to make your life easier. But incidentally, I think the manliest quality of all will be that I actually do not watch the Super Bowl at all this year. I don't tune in. I don't even recognize it because, one, I am sure of myself and I don't need to be subscribing to some hierarchical social norm that doesn't even really fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And two, I'll likely forget. And that's another very masculine quality, is to forget something that is semi-important. So that's all I got. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Vote for Matt, everybody.
Good job.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fair, man. That's definitely fair. The Weeknd's playing this year at halftime. If that sells anybody on it, I don't really care. I like now that they got kicked out of I guess the Weeknd's okay, but now that the Bills got kicked out, people are like, are you gonna root for Brady or Kansas City? Again, if people don't know about sports, this you can zone out here, but yeah, I don't like Brady. And I get really, I mean, it's the reason the Bills haven't gone to the Super Bowl in 25 years or even had a chance to is because of Tom Brady solely. So
I'm convinced that the Buffalo Bills.
I'm like, the best that ever was. I'm like, yeah, but he's won enough. He can stop now. He can go live his life. So I hope he fails.
Amen. He should go. I'm with you.
Thank you. And I did get some solace this past season knowing that he's no longer on the Boston Patriots, and they suck now. And now all Boston's sad. So good.
Good.
On that note, let's keep the laughs coming. We've got another amazing comic coming up next. She's got her own show, Pandemic Pleasantries. I got to star on it at some points, and it's so much fun. And she is crushing it out in DC. Please give it up for the one, the only, Hedi Sandberg.
Yay!
Thank you. Are you gonna spotlight me? I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna stare at you until we're doubling now. This is like okay, here I am. Seth, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you might as well speak German right now. All this sports talking shit. What the fuck are you saying, bro? I am not following anything. I see your post and I'm like, what is this man doing? Why is he wearing this oversized pajama shirt? That's how I feel about sports. But thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I am going to apologize for my appearance right now. Normally I would look like slightly better than this, but I came from bar class and I started taking bar class because I aspire to be a suburban housewife. So I am now dressed for the job I want. All I need is a super old, rich husband. So he'll die because I want his money. That's all I want to do is like take bar class and do Zoom shows. Like that's the life I see for myself. So, you know, hopefully soon it'll happen. And like when I say housewife, I mean wife, period. Okay, like I'm not gonna be a stay-at-home mom. Fuck kids. Oh, don't like fuck them, but like, you know, F kids kind of thing. That's what I mean. Just to clarify, this is the internet. I don't like kids, right? Like I've known since I was 22, I was like, yo, kids, that's not for me. Okay. Like I know that as a fact. And it's weird though, because like me just like having like the notion of like, nah, I'm good. I don't want kids, like drives people insane. I have had women and men be like, well, you say that now, but in a few years, you're going to change your mind. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get in my house? Like, why do people have to tell like you, like, why do people want to like prove you wrong all the time? You know, that's crazy to me. Like I was talking to like a former coworker one time, and she has a daughter. And I was like, awesome, so happy you ruined your life. I'm not doing that. And she was like, but Hedi, what about when you get married and your husband says he wants kids? What are you going to do then? And I was like, why the fuck did we not talk to each other before the wedding? What? Why is everyone obsessed with getting divorced? What fuck? What is this, America? Come on, stop it. Let's see. It came up in conversation. I was talking to this woman. She's a teenage daughter, and I was like, awesome, good for you. I'm not having kids.
I'm fine. How are you?
And she said, no, you gotta try it. And I was like, what? You don't try having kids, okay? Like they're not cocaine. It's not the same thing. It's like, let's say I like have a kid, okay? And then in like a couple years, I'm like, this lifestyle isn't for me anymore. I can't just like bring my kid to a party and pass it around to all my friends. That's not how that works. So I don't want them. It's been weird though, because like, you know, right now, like we're in the pandemic. So unfortunately I lost my job because of the pandemic. And then of course I lost my health insurance. And it sucked though, because it's like a 30th birthday present to myself. I really wanted to get my tubes tied, but now I don't have insurance. So now I'm like, well, looking up some DIY ways to tie my tubes. So like cleaners might be the way to go. I'm thinking about that. That's where, you know, when you have like, you know, your different sexual partners, you talk about birth control, of course, you got to be a responsible adult. And it always comes up. I'm like, what, you know, also, I just like don't want kids in general. And I have had a few men be like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm a bust a nut in that pussycat. And I'm like, okay, first of all, stop sexualizing cats. What? Stop it. Leave them out of it, okay? Stop it. And I'm like, first of all, okay, like just because I don't want kids does not mean that you can come inside of me. Absolutely not. Like you're still gonna come on my back like a fucking gentleman, all right? That's what I want. Let's see what else. I see a therapist because why would you not? Yes, that's right. You need to see a therapist. Take care of your mental health. I'm such a big believer in that. Take care of yourself. You need to talk to someone. So right now, of course, my therapist and I, we're all of our sessions, like, you know, they're on the internet, the Zoom, whatever. It's fine. It works out. There are times though, when I'm like, this is so weird. I feel like I'm just like crying into my laptop, you know? And I'm like, usually that's just something I do when I watch porn. So now it's all weird. You know, my vagina's confused. She's like, excuse me. We're wet, but we're not wet. We're wet, but we're not wet. Like, what are you doing? Go get that silicone thing we like. So now my therapist has asked that I keep my hands visible during our sessions times. Yeah. I'm gonna leave you guys with this, okay? You can see that I look disgusting and sweaty. You're welcome. But what you cannot see is that I'm super fucking tall, okay? That's like a thing. I'm just a 6'2" giraffe looking bitch, okay? I love it. I love being tall. Men love to comment on my height, like all the time. Back in the day when we could go to bars, I was standing outside one, and this guy, he comes up to me, looks me up and down and goes, you look like Kevin Durant. What? It was very confusing. I was like, are you trying to fuck me or play me one-on-one? Like, what is going on here? Not to brag or anything, but he was. So we actually meet up every Sunday night to play a little one-on-one together. And Ronald is just, he's one of the greatest guys I know. I wish more men would approach me with friendship. I love that so much. So men, don't be shy if you want some more friends. We can play together. All right, that's my time. My name is Hedi. Thank you so much, Seth, for having me.
Yay.
Everybody. All right, there we go. Oh yeah. Hedi, it's so good to see you again. That was awesome.
Yeah.
What's your cat's name? You have the best cat name ever.
Oh, Morpheus Eagle.
Yeah.
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 Y'all are welcome for that. I will name your children if you want. Just let me know.
Yeah, there you go. Inspiration. Go be friends with Hedi because she is the best. Awesome. We are moving along. We've got another one of my really good friends I haven't seen in a minute, and he's got some rockin' new hairdo, which I am digging hardcore. He actually used to perform when we used to do Schtick in DC, and I'm so glad to have him on the Zoom live show. So please give it up for the one, the only, Carlic Huynh.
Woo.
Woo! Woo!
Oh yeah.
All right, thanks for having me, Seth. 2020 has been pretty bad. There's been a change, though, in Americans' attitude towards facial coverings. Because, it used to be that an Asian bitch like me could not walk around with a mask on without risk of being made fun of and called sick or a disease spreader. That was during season 1 of the coronavirus diseases, which was called SARS, or as my stand-up hero, Margaret Cho, calls it, severe Asian racism syndrome. Then it used to be that a Muslim woman could not walk around wearing her hijab or a burqa without risk of being made fun of and getting labeled a terrorist. That was during season 2 of the coronavirus diseases. It was called MERS, or as what I would like to call, most European Americans are stupid. Okay. Now we're in season 3 of the coronavirus diseases. It's called COVID-19, or as I like to call, can't object to very intelligent doctors. And the 19 stands for the 19 fucking times I have to tell some motherfucker to go wear a fucking mask. So go wear a fucking mask, okay? Now, with all of these things going on during the pandemic, many people were affected. Frontline workers, bartenders, waiters, waitresses, doctors, and nurses. These people are my hero. But there is one group of people that no one's heard from during this pandemic. And those are the superheroes. I know the superheroes. I know Superman will be okay, though. He's quarantining himself at the Fortress of Solitude. I think he'll be all right. Wonder Woman's got her golden lasso. So I think she'll be all right. She can, set it up in such a way, finagling where she can get herself a quarantine haircut. I think she'd be all right. Then there's Batman. Oh, he's miserable. He feels guilty because he's the one that started the pandemic because he's a Batman, He's trying to make up for it, though. He's developing this app called Kapow, which is Zoom for superheroes. What you do is you log into the app, and then it connects you to a drone via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, satellite, Zoom technology. Good news, there's a boxing glove to punch the bad guys and some, cuffs to, restrain them. But the bad news is you only have 40 minutes to catch them. Why? Because, him and Alfred had spent so much time developing this project that they couldn't afford the paid version. So they had to get the cheapo free version, 40-minute limit. And then there is Aquaman, and we all know he's a hoe. Okay, he's swimming around in the oceans, fucking everything in sight, sea urchin, mermaids, and coral. I think he'd be all right, okay? All right, I think he'd be all right. Now, maybe you were lucky enough to be quarantined with a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, a lover, or what have you, you know? And, you know, you've had all the conversations you care to have, you know? You've seen every fucking thing on Netflix, you know? You tried all the vanilla sex that you can handle, okay? And you might, you know, want to dip your toes in some more kinky shit, you know? You want to give that BDSM a try, you know? Now, before the pandemic, I wouldn't try any of that kinky shit. But now, of course I would. It's the pandemic. People are bored and they want to try, you know, something new. So it used to be that an Asian bitch like me couldn't do any of the kinky shit because, you know, we were seen as submissive and not dominant. But times have changed and people are bored, you see. See, first of all, what you need to do is find yourself a little piggy bitch, okay? Someone smaller than you that you can playfully like throw around the place, you know? Then, once you found your little piggy bitch, you need to sit down, your little piggy bitch, and discuss what's allowed and what's off limits, because consent and agreement are key, okay, especially in this day and age, okay? All right. If something happens and you two find like you don't like it for whatever reason, you need to set up a safe word. And I recommend using a real word, but not a very common word. Okay. My recommendation may be something like haberdashery. Okay. It's something, you know, that you don't hear that often, but once you do, you're like, oh, wait a minute, what's that? So now that you've set up all of this, then you can strap you in and blindfold your little piggy bitch, okay? And then you could subject your little piggy bitch to some whipping or, you know, nipple play or flogging or shit like that, you know, like, you know, that sort of stuff. This sends your little piggy bitch into heaven. And eventually, it wears out your little piggy bitch. And at that point, then you can walk around to, you know, your little piggy bitch's head and you know, pee in his mouth or something. Haberdashery! Now, you all should try the BDSM, okay? You know, it might be new, might be kinky, might be exciting, you never know. But we all know that that little piggy bitch that you found is the other white meat, okay? So, you know, enjoy your little BDSM time, okay? All right, and that's all I have. So thank you so much.
Keep it going for Carlic, everybody. There we go. Oh man, I think you set the record for how many times you can say piggy bitch in a stand-up set, dude. Nicely done. It reminded me of I just started watching. I'm very behind on shows, but I just started watching Big Mouth. You guys watch Big Mouth at all?
Yes.
I'm like, I think it's a hilarious show. It cracks me up. But the thing that confuses me the most on that show is I'm very attracted to the female hormone monster. I don't know why. Problem. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, what? They did. The artist did a really good job on this. Oh my God, guys, how you doing? Are you guys live out there?
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for supporting comedy. We've got so many more funny people. I'm gonna stop yabbing and we're gonna get to our next performer, who is she is Chicago fame, comedy fame. So excited to have her on the show. Give it up for Alexa Jaeger.
Yay!
Yay!
Replace it. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry for setting off anyone's Amazons. Honestly, my mom was in this call for a little bit at the beginning, but she had to go, which is really a shame because I would have died to like hear her react to Piggy Bitch that many times. Yeah, my parents' names are Fran and Jody, which sounds like the names of two outdoorsy lesbians taking a Pacific Northwest road trip. Like Fran and Jody is just like gender ambiguous enough that when I say those are my parents, people are like, oh, so Alexa has two moms or two dads? No, just one mom, one dad. Pretty boring. But my mom, she's very sweet. She just wants the whole world to be flowers and rainbows all the time. And sometimes she'll misremember things as like more positive than they were. My sister had to get a shot at the doctor's office, and my mom has this picture of me talking to her, and she's like, this was you encouraging her and to get a shot, not to be scared. And I was like, no, Mom, this is literally a picture of my sister and I both laughing and relentlessly making fun of you. Because you said, are you going to get the shot in your arm or in the buttocks like Forrest Gump? And we were like, Mom, Forrest Gump did not get a shot in the buttocks. He got shot in the buttocks. Forrest Gump did not go on a recreational trip to Vietnam and make sure to get all his vaccinations. Forrest Gump went to war. He saw things he can't unsee. And also, my mom, as an adult, genuinely believed that Anne Frank survived the Holocaust. Someone told her that that was not the case, and she called me. I just picked up the phone, doesn't even say hello, just, did Anne Frank die? Yes, Mom. I mean, we published her diary. You don't do that for living people. 30 million copies of her most personal thoughts were distributed worldwide. If she wasn't dead before, she's about to wish she was, you know? Like, yeah, so my mom, she's a wholesome creature. I'm not sure how she would have responded to Piggy Bitch. But anyway, about me, not about my mom. I'm a little less wholesome. I'm a little more aggressive, a little meh, I don't know. My mom doesn't like the way I talk to my boyfriend. She says that I'm bossy and that I'm mean. But she doesn't understand that it's intentional. It's to weed out certain types of men, you know? I don't want men who are confident. Gross. Confident men like will talk back. Who has the time? One time I dated a confident guy, and he was like, I said, well, we were arguing, and he was like, how do you know you're right? Or is it, fuck, I'm getting this all backwards. We were arguing. Sorry, it's been ages since I did comedy. And I said, what makes you so sure you're right? And he said, I'm older than you. And I was like, bitch, that is the dumbest argument. And also, you're 4 days older than me. Why the fuck do you bring that up? Like, where do you get the audacity? Also, what did you accomplish in those 4 days? Your only job as a newborn baby is to not die. And I know for a fact, he wasn't even that good at that. I mean, his mom told me he was a preemie. Also, like, you were born first, but who was breathing without a respirator first? Like, I will not be shit-talked by a fucking preemie. If you were born when you were supposed to, I would be older and you wouldn't have such a big fucking forehead. Someone's got to take these preemies down a peg. I feel like some of you aren't with me. You're like, oh no, but the preemies. But I mean, like, come on. No one should be dating preemies. They've been coming early since day one. That is a preemie sex pun. You're welcome. All right, let's talk about dicks. I dabble in dicks. Like I said, I have a boyfriend. I'm not like a dick enthusiast by any means. Like, I dabble. Like, I'm straight, but the dick is by no means my favorite part of the experience. A female friend once asked me, do you give good blowjobs? which is, first of all, a super weird question, because what is the follow-up question if I say yes? You know, like, what is she gonna be like? Can you do me a favor? Like, what professor do you need me to blow? What the fuck? My response is basically, bitch, the world is never gonna know if I give good blowjobs, because I pride myself on giving fiercely mediocre head. Because I don't want to get asked to suck any more dick than I have to. We are sucking bare minimum levels of dick. I don't even open my eyes when I'm down there. I don't even see what I'm doing. I once slept with an uncircumcised guy and fully didn't notice. His roommate afterwards was like, was he the first uncircumcised guy you've been with? And I was like, he was what? My blowjob technique has been described as a bird box, you know? I don't see it. It can't hurt me. How am I on time? What do I have?
A minute left.
1 minute. Okay. I went to MIT for school, and one time when I was in college, I was at a bar, and the bartender identified that I was an MIT student, and he was like, "You go to MIT, you need to blow everyone, because you never know who might be the next Bill Gates." And I was like, that is so fucking sexist. I could be the next Bill Gates. I mean, I won't, because I studied geology. But let's get to what really sexy about that. If I came to you and was like, hey, when I was in college, I blew Bill Gates, would any of you be fucking impressed? I mean, like, he's not known for his sex appeal. I mean, I haven't seen his dick, but I've seen his face, and I can't imagine it gets better. Found Microsoft with his dick. Like, why are we assigning clout for sleeping with tech moguls? Like, that ain't it. I mean, also, if I were to do anything sexual with Bill Gates, I would not want to, like, blow him. I want to fuck him, you know? I want to make one of the most rich, powerful men in the world my bitch for, like, 4 glorious Viagra-fueled minutes. I don't know. I mean, I paid $249 for the Microsoft Office suite for my computer. I've blown Bill Gates. Like, we're all blowing him economically every day. So I want to fuck him, you know? Maybe I'd make him role play as Clippy. I don't know. That's it. Bye.
Yay!
Keep it going for Alexa, everybody.
Woo!
That was a nice transition.
Oh man, gotta love it. Rick James from Buffalo, true story. I know a couple things about Buffalo. Oh my gosh, guys, get ready for some more jokes. We're getting into everything tonight. We're exploring all topics. It's getting real and it's getting funny. Please go absolutely nuts. Go Rick James nuts, honestly. Elena Panyard, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let me find you.
Should I tell? Will that be easier? Okay, perfect. Thank you. My dog, actually, the pizza guy, once said our family dog looked just like Rick James. Really funny. But anyway, so I hate doctors more than most people do. My mom even said that when I was 1 and I got my shots, I ignored her and I glared at her for the rest of the day, which is unheard of for a 1-year-old. But I'm also a hypochondriac, so I love the doctor more than anyone. Go there all the time, even though I'm also terrified of them. But it made it extra hard because my first semester of college.
It's helping me with food sign.
About a month into my first semester of college, I was having foot pain. I just was really lazy and I had never walked that much before. So when my foot started hurting, I was like, I should probably go to the doctor. It's probably broken or something. So I go to the campus doctor, and if anyone knows what campus doctors are like, they don't know what they're doing at all. They once told my roommate my freshman year that she had the flu and she ended up being hospitalized, like taken by helicopter. I don't even remember what she had, but anyway, they misdiagnosed her. And he could not figure out what was wrong with my foot. So he was like, I'll send you to go to get an x-ray of your foot. We'll figure it out. So he has me go downstairs, and I'm sitting there waiting for this shuttle to take me to this off-campus x-ray person. And I get in the shuttle, and it's a man named John. And he tells me, hi, I'm John. And he starts telling me about how he's prepping for doomsday and, you know, like my prepping for doomsday as well. And he's telling me how the government's like tracking me with my credit card and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, like, I just want to get to my appointment. Just want to see if my foot's broken. So
you're not gonna watch this?
he pulls up to the x-ray place and he goes, I'm going to run some errands, but I'll be back. I'm just going to drop you off. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go in to get the x-ray, and they have me fill out paperwork, and I'm sitting in this chair waiting. And all of a sudden I hear Elena, and I look up, and John is standing there in a white lab coat. And he is my x-ray technician. So I go in, and he goes, hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you. What's your name? And I'm like, Elena, you just said it. Also, you just drove me here. And he has me lay down on the table. And the whole time he's taking my x-rays, I'm like, this man's going to murder me. I'm being chopped up into a million pieces. And afterwards, he tells me, like, we'll have your results in 24 hours. Do you have any questions? And I'm like, no. And he goes, all right, cool. And he hangs his white coat up on a hook. I watch him walk right out the door, get into the van he drove me there in, pull up, and I get in, and he goes, how was your appointment? That was like, oh, that was awful. But that's one of the benefits of Zoom now too, is like, now that we're on Zoom, a lot of my doctors at least are letting like you just FaceTime in, or like they have Zoom set up and all of that. But sometimes you can't always do that, or if you do, it's weird. Like, I ended up having a rash on my boob a few weeks ago, and I called my dermatologist and was like, hey, what's up? Can I come in? And they were like, no, unless it's like really urgent, we're not taking anyone inside, but why don't you send me a picture? And I was like, okay. So I'm like trying to get a picture of my boob, but I've never taken a nude before. So I'm like, should I put like a fancy bra on for him? Like, want me to like stand at a certain angle? Like, I'm trying to pose for it, but I don't really know like what he wants from me. So I ended up just canceling the appointment, and still there. So doing well. That's it for me. Thank you.
Yay. Everybody. Oh yeah. Let's see here. There we go. Oh my gosh. Party just keeps on going, guys. I hope you guys are having fun. Staying live out there. I hope that you guys don't have rashes on your body as well. Didn't check that out. Hope that clears up. Knock on wood. Okay, we got a couple more comics left, and we're gonna have a freaking blast. So next comic coming to the stage. They are hysterical. They've been on the show before, and can't wait to see how this is gonna pan out. So let's go nuts for Kristi Durkin.
Yay! Woo!
What was up? You have to make I'm the host now, which means I'm hijacking the show. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Wait, am I the host now?
I'm making you the host.
Okay. That was me role playing a boomer.
The host.
I am now the host. Okay, let women speak a little. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna screen share or share screen.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be awesome, guys. I'm really excited. My name is Kristi. I'm 23 today, and this isn't even like stand up. Today I woke up in Howard Brown in a chair in my Phoebe Bridgers pants, and I was hearing the young nurse tell the older nurse like what my pants were. There was like, yeah, they're Phoebe Bridgers pants. Like, she's like a singer. She's like a sad singer. I just like was really overwhelmed and like I don't know, like I like literally got a stick and poke tattoo like on like a painful area of my body and didn't even like cry, but like I got a shot. I just like passed out and cried. It was so much today. Okay. Oh my god, don't let me. How do I do this? How do I do this? There we go. Sorry, I'm going into fight or flight mode. Wait, no, shit. Okay. So hi guys, I'm 23. My name is Kristi, and I wrote this poem, and it's called "I Think My Guinea Pig Is an Atheist." I am currently switching medications right now, so let's do this. I think my guinea pig is an atheist. She did not go to mass with us. An empty seat in the pew. God, we miss the old you. Her hair looks like a goddamn mullet. Her hair's so dark, she might as well shoot a bullet. In our family, FAM, ILY. I love you. I miss you. Another empty seat in the pew. It's illegal to own one guinea pig in Switzerland. One single pig, one single pig, one single pig. My atheist guinea pig is looking for a third. She doesn't even have a second. Thinks she wants to finger a bird. I see her in her cage, gazing at the canaries with an undeniable sexual rage. I think my guinea pig is an atheist. Choose on pages of the family Bible. Yum, yum, yum. Corinthians 10:25, a guinea pig threesome is so tribal. Does my atheist guinea pig feel alive? I have to wonder. I come home in terror. Every Wednesday night, the guinea pig is watching Bill Mayer. We don't say a word. We don't want to fight. I think my guinea pig is an atheist. Thursday night, I come home. The guinea pig is listening to Ozzy Osbourne. She sings tales about oh God, our family, FAM, IOI, is torn. My horny guinea pig is an atheist. Amen. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, is it the end? I say when it's the end. I'm the host, Seth. Okay, let's keep talking about me, bitch. Okay, so again, I'm Kristi. I'm 23. I just graduated, which is actually pretty beautiful because this is the first time I've actually said it to like a group of people out loud because I graduated in a pandemic like a month ago and I've only told like my 4 roommates. But I mean, even though like I graduated emotionally, like I'm virtually studying abroad. So look at me in Paris and Berlin and Tokyo all in the same place at once. So when I virtually studied abroad 2 days ago, I got punched in the face at an FC Barcelona concert. It's because I put patatas bravas in a Ziploc bag and said, "Oh, honey." Okay, I have some really virtually studying abroad.
Oh my God.
This is a really burnt pizza. Yeah, I fell asleep while masturbating and then I put a cheese on it. Oh, ha ha ha. Oh no, Kristi. Oh, you're so 23. This just happened 2 days ago. Okay, so is she pregnant? Is she not? I don't know, honey. Let's find out. These are the many fun experiences I've had studying abroad. And I hope you've had some too. I have what's time like? What's the time, Seth? I don't know time.
You got a minute.
Yeah. You know what? I'll really fast say no yet. No, I'm good. We're not gonna read another poem. I have a poem I wrote in an improv class like a year ago when Craig Euler like made me cry once. That's like, I'm eating a hard-boiled egg in front of IO Theater. I can't sleep at night. I was late for class, and I don't even want to read it. Okay. That's it, and I'm the host now forever, right?
Yeah. Keep it going for the new host of the show, Kristi Durkin, everybody.
Yes. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to not be host. Stop the screen share. Okay, wait. You're about to be host again. Bye, guys. I loved being your host.
Yeah. All right, stand by, guys. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys didn't know that you're gonna have a PowerPoint presentation on satanic guinea pigs, did you? We're busting out all the stops tonight. We've got 2 more performers left. I'm so excited to have these guys here. Real quick, I feel like we've been talking a lot about kinky stuff tonight. I recently took a kink test online. Has anyone else done this? You can take a test to find out what kind of kinks you might be into. And mine came back, this is true, 95% vanilla.
Oh.
It's exactly what you think it is. And the porn that it recommended me to watch was just crocs.com. So a nice pair. All right. But in the meantime, we're going to go to an equally hysterical person that I'm so excited is also here. Please go nuts for Stacey Axler.
Yay!
No! Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Everyone, can we get a round of applause for Seth for putting on this show? Thank you, Seth. Thank you. All right, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I know I'm doing pretty okay. Let's see. The other day, someone texted me and said, "Hey, are you free?" And then I didn't respond because I didn't want to. And then they double texted me and they said, "If you're free, maybe you can help me with something." And I just want to say this to everyone, don't do that. You know, just because I'm free doesn't mean I want to be helpful. Okay, I just can't. I'm trying to take care of me now. I'm an adult. I am. Some people think I'm a teenage boy, but I'm an adult and I do adult things. One thing that they don't tell you about adulthood is that you can buy candy whenever you want. No one stops you. You can just go into a store and buy it. My favorite candy to buy, thank you. But anyone can do it, not just me. My favorite candy to buy is called Haribo. It's a brand. Maybe you're familiar with it. There's a wonderful jingle associated with Haribo, and it says, "Kids and adults love to know the happy world of Haribo." So good. Yes, people like their gummy bears. They also have a special product called Happy Cola, which is probably one of the best gummies in the world. But here's the thing. Haribo recently changed their packaging, that on the back of all their packages, it has a cartoon illustration of a hand going like this. And it says, "A portion size is how you should be eating your gummies. A portion size fits into your hand." It's like, Haribo, don't tell me how to eat. Like, we're surviving, in the middle of a pandemic. I can eat however many Haribos I want to eat. So I don't know. I can't take it anymore. Like that was the last straw. Now that's my transition into idioms, famous idioms. One idiom that I've been thinking about a lot lately is one called, "That's a dime a dozen." You hear people say that, and that means that's a really common thing. But let me ask y'all this. Really think about this one. In the last 5 years, has anyone even seen a dime? Like, where are all the dimes? Okay, I know what a dime is. All right, like, I've seen them. They have existed at some point in time. But in the past 5 years, has anyone even really seen a dime? I've seen quarters and pennies, sure. Nickels, okay, sometimes, but no dimes. So I don't know. Change the idiom. Just change it, idiom people, whoever you are. Just change it. People say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That might be true, but lunch is usually the only thing making me get through the day, if I can be honest with you. Like, I look forward to lunch. Eating a sandwich is usually the highlight of my day. Today, the highlight of my day was doing this. Usually it's a sandwich. Sometimes if I'm having a stressful day, I'll eat lunch at 10 a.m. because then I can trick myself into thinking that the day is almost half over when it's not. This is why old people eat dinner early, because the sooner they're done with dinner, they can say, "Oh, well, it's time to go to bed." I truly think in my life,
I've lost time because I've tricked myself that it was nighttime or I was just put to bed early. And they're like, it's bedtime. I can't read analog clocks. I have no idea what this says. I got it from IKEA. I don't fucking know. It just has numbers on it. Everyone says, oh, it's past whatever. Think of a pie shape. I don't know what you're talking about, everyone. I can only read digital clocks. Thank God we all have cell phones now. I don't even know. Alexa was talking about something really important, which is about premature infants. I was premature, and Alexa is correct. We need to be knocked down a few pegs. I usually tell people right when they start to date me that I was premature, because the doctors used to say, oh, don't worry, Mr. and Mrs. Axler, Stacey will catch up with all of her peers at some point. That's what I call wishful thinking. They really wanted me to catch up to my peers. Emotionally, I was very mature, which is keyword for sad. I physically, I never really caught up. Actually, when I was a little child, which what they call a toddler, I could never walk forward. I could only walk backwards. So all the time they would try to get me to walk. They'd say, come here, Stacey, come to me. And I would only retreat from them. And I would just keep walking backward and hitting a wall. I just got to say this. I never thought about that until like a year ago when I realized, wow, that's really identified the whole plight of my life. I just keep walking backwards, making the same mistakes, hitting a wall, thinking I'm moving forward, but no, I just keep retreating, going backwards. Everyone, we can break out of these patterns. That's what I'm saying. This is what it's all about, patterns. Speaking of patterns, reminds me of one thing I like to do when I'm sad, which means all winter time, is I like to watch Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is one of the best movies, the first three, one of the best movies ever made. Really, really great. And I realized everyone can identify how they are like in a friendship by watching Lord of the Rings. So in a friendship, I'm a lot like Gimli, an integral part of the team, but no one really knows why he's there. That is like how I am in a friendship. In Lord of the Rings, in the first one, The Fellowship of the Ring, Gimli keeps suggesting they walk through the mines of Moria. And everyone says, no, they don't want to go. That's exactly like me when I suggest to my friends I want to go to a bar. Everyone says, no, not that bar. But eventually you have to go through the mines of Moria. And everyone gets upset and we usually end up leaving. It's a bad idea. Everyone watch Lord of the Rings. That's what the whole point of this is. Pre-COVID times, I used to love going to silent auctions. I never win anything, but I like to go because I always like to support the vendors who no one would bid on. Everyone wanted the wine baskets, but no one wanted to watch Mrs. Peterson teach them how to knit. So what I would do is I would stand in the shadows and I would just bid on it. And then I would circulate rumors saying, I'd be like, oh, Mrs. Peterson's knitting class seems to be filling up, and then people would start signing up for it. So I would try to change the fate of the silent auction. I miss silent auctions so much, but as I said, I never win. I really never do. It's actually gotten to the point where whenever I do win something, people make me feel guilty about it because they just don't think it's going to happen. Case in point, 2 years ago, I was at a function where someone had just finished a paper for grad school, and he said, okay, if you can guess the number of annotations that I put in this paper, you can win an Amazon gift card that I have right here. And he said, Price is Right, rules apply. And I said, okay, then my guess is 1. Because I don't know anything about annotations. I can't even read a clock. I can't guess annotation. And I won. I won the card. Everyone was like, oh my God, how did you do this? This is cheating. It's like, no, this is Price is Right rules. And people were like, Stacey, you can't accept this. It's like, this is not a gift. I won this fair and square. But I used it to buy presents for other people. So I do think I gave back. And I'm going to end with this. I've noticed lately that a lot of people use the term LOL on social media, but they usually put it after things that are not funny. It's kind of like they're trying to force your hand a little bit to laugh at them. Like, so for example, there's this guy I used to go to high school with, and he said, "My mother-in-law is horrible, LOL." And it's like, I'm not gonna laugh at an old woman. Like, do you think I'm depraved? Like, we all need to be kinder to one another, not laugh at an old woman. So anyway, everyone, think about how you're using LOL. Like, don't use it as a command. Like, I think some people are saying laugh out loud, not laugh out loud. Tone is everything. So think about it. Just think about it. And I'm gonna pass the mic back to Seth. Seth, thank you for having me.
Keep it going for Stacey, everybody. All right, guys. Let's see. Lindsay, were you able to connect? Are you in here? Maybe. Hello. Oh, man. Well, you know what? We're going to have her on the next show. We'll figure it out. Technical difficulties do happen. Stacey, actually, I think it was like the first time we had Stacey on, we had, I think it was like, Stacey, I think you were like, besides tonight, you may have been the only flub that we've had, like technical issue. So, I mean,
it was a bad technical issue.
Yeah, that was like early on and not have a technical issue. I mean, that's pretty rad. So we'll have Lindsay Shaw on for the next show. Some big news. We're going to be like hopefully doing this every other week. So we'll have more shows, more comics, more chances for you guys to get up here. And if you're watching the show and you're thinking, hey, I would love to try that out. That seems like a good environment to try stand up for the first time. Guess what? You're right. It's a great opportunity. So feel free to hit me up on Facebook, Schtick Chicago. Follow us on there for more show information. We'll be back again next month, if not sooner. And let's see, what can I leave you guys with? So my sister got a dog recently, like last year, and it's been so much fun. My brother in the same year also got a dog. We haven't had any pets in our house. We had like a bunny that runs around the house, free reign, which is fantastic. But now, obviously, when the dog's somewhere, we put the bunny in a secluded room so he doesn't stress out. But the dogs are great. But what I will say, and I didn't really realize this, I didn't really grow up with pets, and I love animals. But if you get a dog from a shelter as opposed to, from a breeder, they tend to usually, most of the time, have less health issues. It makes them more healthy because when you're inbreeding, causes serious health issues. This is like a problem during like monarchies back in the day. We all know this, right? I'm concerned, guys, because there are a lot of porn stars having sex with their siblings, and the future is just going to be riddled with health issues. Sure, they'll be hot, but at what cost? we gotta tell these guys, cut it out. All right. That being said, all my little piggy bitches, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. Stay safe. Wear a mask, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. Round of applause for everybody. We had Tatum Hunter, Matt Keller, Hedi Sandberg, Carlic Huynh, Alex Jaeger, Elena Panyard, Kristi Durkin, Lindsay Shaw's going to be on next week or next time, and Stacey Axler. So thank you guys so much. Have a great night. I'm going to play some tunes. Enjoy some beverages for me tonight, and get home safe. Bye, guys.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you, everyone.
You.
Great show.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Bye.